Hello everyone! Today I'm going to be reviewing a 1/8 scale figure by Kotobukiya, and this is of Tsukiko Tsutsukakushi from the anime The Hentai Prince and the Stony Cat, also known as Henneko. She is one of my absolute favorite anime characters, so I really wanted to get this figure even though it came out in October, I believe, and I'm a little late to the party. I've seen some other reviews of her, but I wanted to do my own take. This is Tsukiko in her box, and this is actually one of the cutest boxes in my personal collection. The sides are actually done really creatively, in my opinion, the way they have the figure set at an angle with various little cutouts around her. But enough about the box, let's just get her out of there. This is a scaled figure that comes with a couple of accessories, and the first one is this little apple that sits on top of Tsukiko's head. It has a magnet on the bottom that secures it to her head, which is really nice, so you know it won't fall off. And the paint job on it is really, really nice and realistic. Like, you can definitely tell that that is an apple, and it looks like you could just eat it right now if it wasn't like the size of my pinky nail. She also comes with this little white blue-eyed cat, and this sits on her base and goes along with the whole cat theme of the figure, although this particular cat never really shows up in the anime. My only complaint with this piece would be I wish they had magnetized it like the apple so that it would stick to her base, but it just sits there, so it will fall off if you bump her, but it's really not that big of a deal because it's not exactly a fragile piece. And they even painted the little paw pads on the bottom, which I just think is an adorable little touch. Her final accessory is this cat shadow, and it is a clear piece of plastic that fades from a darker black down to almost completely clear at the bottom. And I just think this really adds something to the figure and makes the base even more dynamic and different from most figures, especially since she's just basically a schoolgirl figure. Now we'll look at Tsukiko herself. This is her without any of the accessories added. She is actually screwed into her base so she doesn't come out, which is actually kind of nice since she is supported on only one leg. That gives you peace of mind that she won't lean. And I actually really love her base. Mint happens to be one of my favorite colors, so the fact that it is mint is a major plus for me. And the little paw prints are so cute. And once again, this figure is just full of tiny little touches like that that just make it special. I was looking over her earlier and I didn't notice really any paint flaws. The only thing that I could say really about her is that her skirt is severely lacking in shading. It is just a pink piece of plastic with plaid printed on it, basically. But it's really not that big of a deal. Another really cool thing about her is that her eyes are slightly glossy while the rest of her is matte, which just makes it seem like her eyes are shining. That same glossy finish is applied to the cherries as well as the apple. This is Tsukiko from the back, and she looks super cute even from this angle. She has a kitty tail, which I actually think, this may sound a little weird, but they actually put in the detail like her panties are slightly pulling down because of where the tail is placed, which I know that's a really weird detail to notice, but if you think about it, if people really had tails, that would actually happen, so I think it's cool that they put that much thought into it. And of course, you've got a full panty shot because of the way her tail is lifting up her skirt. There is subtle shading on her knees and legs, and there's even a little pink bow on her panties from the front. And I also want to point out that she is cast-offable. The skirt does come off. However, I have not tried to take the skirt off of mine yet because if you ask me, her pose is a little awkward if her skirt isn't on because, I mean, what's she grabbing onto then? Alright, now let's add her accessories. First, the apple magnetizes to her head, and like I said, it will not fall off at all. Then the cat shadow just slides under her foot, just like that. and it is in place. And then the little white cat just sits right there on the base beside her. Here is Tsukiko all put together. She is absolutely adorable. I am so glad I finally decided to hunt her down and buy her. This is probably my favorite figure in my collection to date. So that is all for this review.